Good evening, everyone. My name is Melanie Barber, and the reason why I'm hosting this session today is because number one, I understand that when you're dealing with money, it can be extremely intimidating, not just money, but finances in general. And so, one of the things that I always think about is something that my aunt used to tell me. And she used to say, you plant seeds, and even though you may not be around to see them flourish and grow, you plant seeds of education. And so, this is the whole purpose of this series. And this is a series because I do feel that when you're talking about money and finances and credit and everything. It just is so much information, and I do feel like it can be overbearing. So, my whole purpose is to break this down so that there is a clear understanding. And for those who could not attend the session for whatever reason, this information can be found on Affordable Living Services .com, or you can just send me a quick email, and the email is affordablelivingservices@gmail.com if you need to get access to this information. What will be available after this session is the video, and the actual series itself will be available when the series is completed. Okay, so what is money? Money is one of those things I feel like, it's either you know it or you don't know it. And like I said before, it can be extremely overwhelming. So we're going to break it down. We're going to have some fun, and then we're going to break it down. So I named this session Making Money Moves. And the reason why I named it that is because I know that's one of, I think it's Cardi B songs, and I know it's like a popular, thing that people say, I'm making money moves. So making money moves can truly be impactful in your life and the lives of your family if you do the right thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is like my aunt used to tell me, you have to change mindsets, and change your mindset, it's not an easy thing, but we're going to see if we can break it down a little bit. Why does having a good relationship matters as it relates to money? Now, when we think about money, we don't necessarily thinking about or don't think about having a good relationship with it. So regardless of how much money you make, you can save money that can make a financial difference in your life and the lives of your family, but you got to understand how it works first, right? So, even saving in small increments can make a positive impact on you and your family. And that's just this comes under the alignment of understanding money, and like I said a little bit ago, having that mindset change about money. So let's start with the mindset. Say and think this: my money matters, and I want to have a good relationship with it. And the reason why I'm suggesting that you say that is because, and say it and think it and kind of embody it, is because what we know, particularly in the black community, a lot of times it is completely opposite. As we get money, we spend money. Very seldom do you hear people having conversations about saving money or how to make this money work for me. So it's important that we have that switch. That switch has to happen first before you can even save money. So you got to have that mindset change first. And then I believe that everything will follow. And just to give you um, a little story, about myself, is that I didn't have a good relationship with money. It wasn't until my stepfather, who is deceased, started me with, he was like, listen, if you ever want to get a house, or, you want to get a better car, you need to work on your credit, and at that time, my credit was maybe five something, 580 or whatever it was, right? And he was like, you have to start off. And so you have to get what's called a secure credit card. And so he started planting that seed that I said earlier. My aunt She always would say, you plant seeds and you might not be around to see them grow. Well, that is definitely the case with my stepfather because even though he started that process with me with kind of understanding credit and how credit can impact you, he's not around to see um, the flower blossom, unfortunately, right? But he planted that first seed, and along the way, I met my husband, and he further watered that plant. And so, with the combination of my stepfather and the combination of my husband, I just understand money a little differently and understand finances in general a little differently. So, with them making a positive impact on me, my view is differently is very different now. So, how I view what I earn, and I think this is a pivotal thing, particularly when we know that we get X amount of money per month, right? So whether you get money weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, everybody has that set amount of money. Everybody is on a fixed income, right? But what I've learned is that it matters how you envision the money that you have. So for instance, going back to mindset change, if you look at what you earn and you think, I will be broke by the end of the day or when you get paid, then guess what? You will be broke. But if you start to change your mindset and look at your earnings as just that, these are your earnings. And then you look at, well, how can I maximize my earnings? How much can I save? How can I adjust my savings? And how can I just make a better financial move or better money move with the money that I have. And so again, we're talking about mindset change, and again, we're talking about maximizing on what you have. Now, granted, we all have bills, right? We all have rent, mortgage, we all have car or transportation. We all have these basic bills that have to be paid. But let's just look at the money that you spend maybe on other things. Let's look at that for instance. So let's say I'm a big Amazon shopper, right? And that's something I definitely have to work on when you're talking about changing mindset so that I can save more. So the question is, when I look at what I already earn, is okay, I know I have to pay these set bills, but the money that I have left over, what else can I do with it besides go to Amazon and give Amazon all my money every time I get paid? So that's something that I definitely, have to look at. So if we look at the money that we have, we should already be asking ourselves, how can we maximize on the money that we have? So the money that you earn, regardless of what it is, what can you do differently? I've talked to people and they have told me, well, transportation is the issue. And so they aren't able to, let's say, right out get a car, buy a car, right? And it may be for different reasons. It may be because of not being able to save money, or maybe because of credit, maybe for, different for different reasons, and everyone's situation is different. But if you look at, okay, how much am I spending rather in transportation? Am I getting share rides, back and forth to work, or back and forth to going to the mall or whatever? Am I getting a family member to take me and I'm paying them, this amount of money? How can you look at that situation and figure out a strategy in which you can save, enough money to set aside? So maybe at one point you could say, okay, now I've saved $2,000. Let me go out here and get me a A and B car, or let me put down on, this type of car. Is really looking at your finances and really figuring out different strategies in which can make you will put you in a better position and maximize on the money that you have so that you can make better decisions. And I hope that made sense. If it does not, please shoot me an email and let me know. Again, um, this series is broken up because I do not want it to be overwhelming to people. I do not want it to be a burden. I do not want any of that. So I want feedback, and I also want it to be a simple process. Money is not anything that should be so overwhelming that you don't understand it, or so overwhelming that you're not making the best decisions for you and your family. So that's what I don't want it to be. But what I do want it to be is an experience that you say, you know what that person said made sense, or what she said that really made me think about something, and is making me change my views about money. And going back to what I said earlier, if you view your money as when you get it, I'm broke, I'm tapped out. But if you look at your money, look at your earnings as if this is an opportunity for me to do something. This is an opportunity for me to save a little bit more, do a little less here, do a little less shopping here. Maybe go back to the old school. I don't even know if they do it anymore. Put stuff on layaway. Just make you look at things differently, right? Money. If we start looking at money differently and really appreciating it and looking at the value of it, I promise you what I know, and I'm speaking from pure experience. When you start looking at your money as if this is a commodity, but this is a commodity that can get me from here to there, only if I treat it right, only if I have a good relationship with it, only if I figure out strategies in which I can build upon it. I promise you, give yourself a timeline, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever you're planning for, it can make a huge difference in your life. And again, going back to what my stepfather, and my aunt planted the seed. My stepfather kind of watered it, and my husband, he did both, plant seeds and watered it, and watch it, flourish. I'm telling you, having a good relationship can definitely do that. So today, I just wanted people to have that switch. Okay, I wanted people to just get that switch going, having that conversation. I find that a lot of folks are still having struggles with these conversations, and these conversations about money can either elevate you or just have you like in the hole somewhere. You got to have these conversations about your money. You got to be smart about your money. If you are living with someone and you guys are I don't know, splitting bills down the middle, or whatever the situation is, if you're rooming, or whatever the situation is, please start to have these conversations about just not even the full money conversation, because I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but have a conversation just about the mindset. Have a conversation about how money is viewed. Both parties, how is it viewed? And viewing money, what that means is, how do you spend your leisure money? What do you do with your extras? Are you saving it? Are you throwing it away? Are you taking it to the strip club? What are you doing? So that is a section of session one. And so the class assignment, and it's pretty much what I just went over now. The class assignment is to write down how you view your money that you earn, and be 100% real about it. We will discuss it, or people who don't want to discuss it, that's fine. Again, shoot me an email. I'm really interested in this. Um, you can send it to affordablelivingservices@gmail.com. That's affordablelivingservices@gmail.com. If you don't want to put it out there, but I'm interested in this, so we can have a back and forth dialogue about how excuse me, how you view your money. And the second part of that is to write down how you want to view your money. Again, two-part assignment. So you're going to write down how you view it, right? And then you're going to write down how you want to view it. And if you're living with somebody, have this conversation. Have this conversation because I'm telling you, your eyes will open. Number one, your eyes will open because more than likely you'll have two different views about money, right? But one thing that I almost can guarantee is that, if you're partnered with someone, if you're married in a relationship or whatever, I guarantee the partner will say, and you probably will say too, nobody has ever asked me that. Nobody has ever asked me that. So, having these conversations, this is just starting the wheel with this, right? But the reason why I'm asking you guys to write it down is because number one is a record, right? You can look at it, you can examine it, you could talk about it, and you could feel it, right? And maybe you write it down now, and your view of your money today, honestly, an honest view of your money might be one way, but maybe, hell, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you'll write it down again and you'll be like, I'm changed. I've changed because of this. I've learned that. I've learned this. I've learned that. So I'm encouraging folks not to just have the conversation, not to just have the conversation, but I'm asking folks to really write it down and be 100% real because that's the only way that when you decide to have the conversation, when you do have the conversation, you can kind of grow from it because you can look at it and say, this is what I wrote down. This is the reason why I feel this way. This is the reason why I view my money this way. This is why I want to now view it in a different way. And then you go from there. So that's your class assignment. That is your class assignment. But for those who do not want to, um, say it online, I get it, I understand it. Please shoot me an email. Again, I'm very interested. Affordable living services at gmail.com. All right, so we are almost finished with this. But lesson two, and this is something that I found very interesting. And what I find interesting is that people don't really know, and I've been there. Do I really know my money? Think about that. Do I really know my money? Okay? Now, what that means is that do you honestly take in account how you spend your money? Or is it a situation, and I'm not talking about anything that I have not experienced, is it a situation that you get paid today and by tonight or tomorrow, ain't nothing there? Okay? So really think about that. Take account for your hard earned money. You worked hard for it, right? Take account for it. And when I say take account for it, what I mean is I'm a fan of writing stuff down. I'm a fan of writing stuff down because what I've learned again is that when you write stuff down, it is a record. It's a record. Write it down because when you write it down, that is your eyes making contact with what you write, and then it goes to memory. You might write something down, like I would write down something, my account for my money. An account is a word that I strategically used because account is tied to money, right? And when you're taking an account for something, you're literally listing down what you're doing with it, right? So for me, I would say one of my accounts for my money is Amazon, and I gotta look at that really closely. So that's why I say write it down, take into account how you spend your hard-earned money. Now, when you look at it, do you think I need to do something different? When you look at it, do you think, hmm, I don't know. Something got to change here. So write it down. Again, write it down and examine it. Examine it for what it is, good, better, and different. And you know, build that relationship with your money. Build that relationship with your money. Okay. Again, if you want further support with this, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email. Okay. Again, I'm so interested in going, you know, supporting people in this because I do think that this is not an easy feat. I mean, this is an easy feat, but I do think it's intimidating because people are not having these types of conversation about money. People are all day having conversations about what they're going to spend their money on. They're going to, well, now because of COVID, ain't nobody doing a whole bunch of anything. But people still finding ways to spend money. Me, Amazon. But people are saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know, they're having all these other conversations, which is sending the money out the household. We're trying to keep the money in the household, okay? So, you know, again, if you don't want to, you know, put it out there, you know, online or whatever, please feel free to email me. I am available for this. One of my goals for this year is to really, regardless of who is participating online, when we have the online, to keep doing these videos and keep doing these exercises because I know it will help someone. These are the seeds that I'm planting, and I might not be around to see them grow, but I'm pretty sure they will grow. Okay. So we got a quick exercise. So what you're going to do is to jot down, take a few minutes, right? You're going to jot down when you get paid, all writing, everything is writing. When you get paid, what you spend your money on, and just give me an estimated amount. All right, we're going to take a few minutes to do that. But this is important. Number one, remember to be 100% real. And these are estimates, but be real. I did this class before, and I asked the people in the class, I said, listen, be real. So if you know that you smoke weed and you spend $100 a week in smoking weed, I need to know that. I'm not reporting you nobody. I don't care, but I just need to know the real. If you spend, you know, you get paid Friday and you spend, I don't know, $100 on, you know, get drunk, whatever. I need to know that, right? Because that's how we start to see what we're doing, and it also plants the seed to think, right? To think, maybe I need to cut back on this. If I can't cut it out, maybe I need to cut back. Because with that money, I could be doing XYZ. If I really get serious about being serious, I could take at least half of that money or 75% of that money and start saving towards that car that I know we need. Or I can save towards that house that I know we want, you know? So it's that type of realness that we need from this exercise. So take a few minutes, jot down when you get paid what you spend your money on and the estimated amount. Remember to include not just your bills, but your extracurricular activities. That's just what I just talked about. So I don't know what they're doing in COVID for strippers. I don't know. But let's just say I don't know what they're doing, but you go to the strip club and you spending $100. I guess I need to play that number, right? You spending $100. Write it down. So write down your bills. So your bills would mean your car payment, your transportation methods, your rent, your mortgage, your water bill, your gas, electric, your phone, all of that stuff. You write all that stuff down. Again, if you do not feel comfortable with sharing this online, hit me up with an email, affordablelivingservices@gmail.com, and I will respond. Okay? This should be good. So take a couple minutes, jot that down. All right? So while you guys are jotting it down, I am just going to tie everything together. Okay? I'm going to tie everything together. So today we absolutely went over a lot of things. We went over a lot of things. The one thing that I want you to keep in mind is that in this process, and it is a process, please keep your mind open. Okay? Please keep your mind open. I am here for the sharing. Again, for those who do not feel comfortable with sharing, hit me up with the email, affordablelivingservices@gmail.com. Okay? I am here for that. Okay? Please keep in mind to keep your mind open. The things that will be discussed. And I don't care if it's one person that attends or zero people that attend or 100 that attend. But the things that we will discuss, I promise you, are things that can elevate you to the next level as it relates to your money. Okay? So, as it relates to your money, please just keep an open mind. I'm here to plant seeds. Again, I might not be around to see them grow, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay? So, what we focused on today, and this is all a part of tying it together, to have a good relationship with your money. All right? Because at the end of the day, your money counts. All right? Maximizing on your money because it is your money at the end of the day. Your money matters. Okay? Identifying what you spend your money on. That is critical. I promise you, if every person sat down and did an account for the extracurricular things and services that they spend their money on, they will probably be able to identify, I'm going to say out of five, maybe two or three things that they could either eliminate or cut back on. Identifying those services or identifying those things, those items, is critical. Is critical. Okay? Because if you look at it this way, if you smoke $100 worth of weed, right? You might can look at it. This is my extracurricular activity. You might can look at it and say, you know what? Maybe I need to change my dealer who will get me a better deal, or maybe I just need to cut this out or something. But if I can just start off small, maybe starting off small and say I can save $25, right? And if you save $25 a week, you didn't save $100. And if you keep that pattern going, and that's at the minimum, if you keep that pattern going, then at the end of the year, that's what, like $1,000 that you could possibly save. But you got to start somewhere, and that's why it is critical for you all to examine what you spend your money on and be real. If you can minimize it and not spend as much, do so. But if you can't, then you can't. Then maybe you might have to look at another area. One thing that I didn't mention, and I'm going to mention it, and I'm only going to mention it because it was mentioned in a previous class that I had, and one of the ladies, her rent was about $100, right? $100 a month because of the program that she was in. But her phone bill was 2 times the amount of her rent. I have a problem with that. Who are you talking to that your phone bill is $200 and your rent is $100? So those are the things that we also have to examine too. Um, and she broke it down. She was like, "Well, I got a phone for me and I got a line for her son." Okay, well, her son was all of 6 or 7 at the time. And so having that conversation with her to have her understand what is the necessity of your son, your 6, 7 year old son, needing a cell phone, and really processing through with her. And that was a long process, and I understand why it was long, but it was a long process. But sometimes we need to look at our bills, our other bills too, our phone bills. Could we look at our insurance and say, well, you know what, it's the beginning of the year, maybe let me shop around for different insurance rates, cheaper insurance rates, as long as you're getting apples for apples, right? And so it's really looking at everything holistically. Everything holistically. All right, and tying it together, the last point, saving matters. I can't stress it enough. You work hard for your money. You have to figure out a way for you to, even if it's small, in small increments, to save money, right? If you got to take baby steps to crawl, and then you walk, and then you run. That's what you do. So if you start off with $20, um every time you get paid, or 20, whatever it is, and then you give yourself a deadline, because I'm famous for this. I'll say, I'm gonna start off with this, and 20 years later I'm still like, why are you still saving this little bit of money? But you give yourself a deadline, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna save $25, because I know at the end of the year I'm gonna get a raise, a 3% raise, or whatever. Well, then you turn around and you take that 3% raise, and you save it instead of spending it, right? And that's another conversation for down the road. But tying it all together, the points that we hit on today, and I feel this was a good session to get the juices going. And I feel like, it was definitely impactful. So we talked about having a good relationship with money, because money matters. It's your money, so it matters. Maximizing my money, because my money matters. Identifying what I spend my money on, because my money matters. And saving my money, because my money matters. Um, and this is the critical thing. This is the critical thing. And when this series is finished, I will put this full presentation on the affordable living website, in the money management or financial literacy part. But this is the critical. This is the nucleus to me. This is the nucleus. Understanding my money will help myself and my family to elevate. Period. So, going through these presentations, really having an understanding, really sitting down to evaluate yourself, to evaluate your money, evaluate how you are spending. When you start to make the necessary changes, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you that you will help to elevate yourself and or your family. And that is the end all to it. But you got to go through these processes. We got to go through these processes so that you can understand. Because once you understand, and this is one thing that's critical, when you understand, when you get an understanding of this, do not hold this information to your heart. Meaning, you share this. This is how we break the poverty cycle. We have to start talking about our money. We have to start talking about our credit, which we'll talk about down the line. We have to start having these conversations. We have to have them with our children. Okay? In my situation, I was late 20s when my stepfather had the conversation with me. Prior to him, no one had that conversation with me. And his conversation was just get a credit card. That's all his conversation consisted of, to rebuild my credit. Get a credit card. This is who I started with to do that. That was his level of finances, right? But when I got to with my husband, he thoroughly understands finances, and so he was the one who started teaching me about money and credit and credit scoring and interest rates and all these things. These are the things that you have to have these conversations. So do not hold this information close to your heart. Please share this information. Get these conversations going. Money is something that people don't like to talk about, but damn it, you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about it. My suggestion is that if you are married or in a relationship, a serious relationship, you gotta have these conversations. Even if you don't share banking accounts, right? You gotta have these conversations, because I'm telling you, what will happen almost probably 100%. when you start to elevate, right, and you start to change your spending habits and you start to really recognize your money and look at your money, if your partner does not, I promise you what I know, that will be a problem. All right. I don't know what number it is. I think it's number two. But one of the main reasons that people break up in relationships, and top three, is money. Duh. No brainer, right? All right, y'all. Until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. Look at your money, look at your finances, have that conversation, and please share. Again, if you don't want to share online, shoot me an email. When you have these conversations with your significant others or just family members in general, let me know how it goes. Hey, I'm here for it. All right, y'all. Until the next time, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you next Monday. Bye.